Drewery Construction Company was founded in 1949 by logger Howard H. Drewery as a tree removal service. Mr. Drewery primarily worked as a logger in the area and would perform tree removal services part-time, usually at no charge.
And Daddy would go over as a neighbor or as a friend of the people in the community and help them. And Daddy got, the word got out that Daddy could do that and was real good at it, and people just started calling him.
Eventually he realized that tree removal and pruning services could be a self-standing business enterprise of which he had the talent and capabilities.
Him and Mother got to visiting and talking and found out, Daddy found out that he might be able to make a living doing this.
Each of Howard's 4 sons, Larry, Dale, Keith, and Terry, eventually joined him in the business. Keith remembers a prayer he prayed at the beginning of his 10th grade year in high school.
I asked the Lord, I said, Lord, would you let me and my brothers work together and be able to make a living right here in Nacogdoches? And I prayed that prayer a lot of times. And over the years, as time went on, he put us all back together.
Over time, God granted Keith's prayer, and each brother assumed an equal share in the family-owned business. Larry's role was construction, Keith's management, Dale's shop operation, and Terry's tree service. In January 1999, the Drewery family suffered a great loss. Larry Drewery passed away, leaving a gap in the family and in the business. Larry's wife Peggy was already working in the business as a bookkeeper. She says she became the Larry in the business, not wearing a hard hat in the field but in the office, where she is currently serving as office manager and secretary-treasurer. In time, with lots of prayer, hard work, and vision, the tree service would grow to become just a division of the work performed by Drewery Construction. Today, other services include land clearing, earth moving, industrial and commercial site development, underground utilities, asphalt paving, and disaster recovery.
We had a hurricane here in 1961, Hurricane Carla. My dad and his brother went down to Galveston. The Corps of Engineers at that time was working, helping to clean that up. My uncle and my dad had got an agreement with them to help move some boats, and that's the first time they worked with the Corps of Engineers. And from that time on, we started doing disaster work.
Drewery Construction Company has grown into a multi-million-dollar corporation employing more than 100 residents of the Nacogdoches area. For Nacogdoches, that is an important economic impact.
It takes people to make people. It takes businesses to make businesses. I honestly believe that nobody makes it on their own. They make it through help of people. In this community and the people in Nacogdoches, our thanks goes to them. They have really been an outstanding community to work for and be able to live here in Nacogdoches and be able to make a living and raise their children here. And we thank them very much for it.
Banker Stan Cisco noted that Drewery is a Nacogdoches-based company, locally owned, and often does business outside of the county and state. That means outside dollars are brought into Nacogdoches, greatly enhancing our local economy. Drewery Construction has established its name with the Texas Department of Transportation as a reliable and dependable company by performing maintenance services in 32 counties in East Texas. With years of experience in the storm debris cleanup dating back to 1961, Drewery Construction is striving to be a main contractor for the United States, responding to disasters including hurricanes, tornadoes, and earthquakes. The owners believe in investing earnings back into the business, as well as doing business with other local vendors, keeping the local economy strong.
We've always believed whatever success that we do have, we've been put there by the citizens and the people of Nacogdoches. They have given us their work, and we've made our money right here in Nacogdoches, and we want to give it back. We want to do our business here with local people that gives us their work. We want to be able to give them our work, which meaning parts, pickups, buying vehicles, hiring their family members. Anybody that lives here in Nacogdoches or in our community, we want to be able to give back because they've given so much to us.
Keith remembers several businesses in the community that believed in Drewery Construction and gave their support even during hard times. The owners credit their business's success to God first, family working together second, and lastly, a support system provided by Nacogdoches residents and local businesses. The Nacogdoches County Chamber of Commerce is proud to name Drewery Construction its 2013 Large Business of the Year.
Please welcome Keith, Dale, Terry, Peggy Drewery with the Drewery Construction Company, and Scott Goodrich with R&K Distributors, sponsor of the Chamber's Large Business of the Year, and a very special treat, Dina Justice, wife of the late Gary Justice. Drewery's. Drewery family, thank you for so much you contribute to our community, our state, and to our country. Y'all are true citizens, and you have given back. You deserve this honor, and we congratulate you. Keith, I believe you said you thought you had 2 minutes. I thought you had 6. We'll compromise at 2.5.
Well, when all this happened and kind of the word hit the streets, I had a bunch of friends call me and said, we got to write that boy a speech, and because they know that and I'm not a public speaker, but I ask y'all to bear with me. It's truly an honor. It's a blessing to be able to work here in Nacogdoches and be able to raise our family here and have the friends that we have. You know, when you're in business and you're struggling, and you have a man like Ed Morgan from Morgan Oil Company come to you and said, look, Keith, he said, I know times is hard and y'all struggling. He said, but y'all boys just stick together. He said, we'll get through this together, and we're counting on you. Then you have a AAA car part like Steve Michelle come to you and said, Keith, we'll just take this box of tickets right here and we'll start a new box, and you take care of this. When you get on your feet, you take care of this. And you know, a guy like Sherman Blue at General 2, guys, I could go on and on and on about the citizens of Nacogdoches and how they helped us. I was in a meeting with the boosters last night. I got invited over there, and I looked in that room, and there was about 40 guys in there, and I started counting. And there was 4 men in that room that we hadn't worked for. And I drive down the streets in Nacogdoches, and I start looking at houses, and I recall back all the, I just can't go down the street that we haven't worked for. And Daddy instilled in us years ago that, you know, nobody makes it by themselves. It takes people to make people. And we don't believe it was an accident. We don't believe in coincidences with God. We believe that God's had his hand on our company. We absolutely don't have a market on God. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that we recognize that God has blessed us with the citizens of Nacogdoches, with business people, and people giving us encouragement. We just couldn't. It just lifts you up when you have men that you count on, like Pete Smith. Y'all all know him. He's left us now, but when he comes to you and said, Keith, I want to pray with you. Gerald Jones comes up, Keith, I want to pray with you. You know, I could just sit here, guys, and go on, and I know we don't have the time. But I know that men like that, it took a young guy like me and like our family and encouraged us. And he did it in a godly, and they did it in a godly way. And it helped us. I'll never forget Jerry Nichols in the 9th grade. He was my football coach. He took us out to his house, and he had prayer with us in an old bus. And I'll never forget the prayer he prayed. It's just lifetime memories like that that helped us get through the hard times. Before I go on, I want to thank and recognize that our wives, because they have stood behind us and stood right there with us. And it's Dale's wife is Brenda. Terry's wife is Tammy. Of course, my sister-in-law, Peggy. And the best thing that ever happened to me was my wife, Tracy. I met her at Stephen F. Austin College. But when you got the citizens, the city of Nacogdoches, you've got Stephen F. Austin College, you've got Nacogdoches County, you've got the hospitals, and that all these people give you a chance to be able to bid on their work. You know, that's what it took. Is they're helping us to stay afloat and just giving us the opportunity to be able to bid and be able to live here. And so our hearts and our thanks goes out to these people and to our employees. We just can't say enough. I looked across there yesterday in our parking lot, and I seen guys that have been there 20 years, 23 years, 18 years, 12 years. They just hung in there with us. People like R&K that sponsored this thing. You know, it takes everybody to do it. And So, our hearts go out to us. With all the new rules and regulations, and all businesses know this, that's coming down from the top. We don't know what holds tomorrow for Drewery Construction, but we know who holds it. And so we ask you, our employees and our family, we asked all y'all to pray with us and help us to, our goal is and our hope is that we can come and do your work and live a life in front of all of our people that y'all will see Christ in our life. And we can't do that without you and your prayers and praying for our company. And so we humbly want to say thank you very much.
Again, Drewery family, congratulations, Scott and Dina. Keith, you missed your calling. I believe you're going to need to hit the road, go on the speaker. Just a moment of personal privilege, and Dina, I really appreciate you being here. There's so many of you in the audience that did not know Gary Justice. Jim Elder and Gary and I served together. We were three of us going through the chairs together, and we got together and decided to run it as the office of the president. So Jim and I got to work with Gary Justice on almost a daily basis. And another personal privilege, the Justice family is part of the Ruckle family. Our sons were each other's best mans in their wedding. So Dina, it was really special to have you with us tonight. Scott, thanks for bringing her. Appreciate it.